Hi there, I want to show you the results of my experiment with the castor oil and the bay leaves. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to manage with it bound throughout the whole night. I actually had to take it off midway. Just the pain became too unbearable. There was a lot of throbbing and burning in my ankle and in my on the wound itself. A lot of pulsating sensations, a lot of burning sensations, and it just got to the point where it was too unbearable, and I didn't want to take Advil or Tylenol or drink an herbal tea to mask the results. I just wanted to keep the results as clear as possible. In addition to that, to taking off the binding early, I actually changed how I was binding. On my original video, I had said I was going to put the bay leaves in this direction, along my leg this way, along the scar. But I wanted to actually see if there was a distinct difference using the bay leaves and the castor oil and just using castor oil. So what I did was I actually put the bay leaves along my wound this way. And I actually found that with the bay leaves, there is actually a distinct difference. So this is actually the line where the bay leaves was. And this is actually the black and blue bruising. It's actually a lot lighter in comparison to where it was just castor oil. The band and the thickness of where the bruises actually was is a lot thicker. Mind you, it's a lot thinner than it was yesterday, but it's still a lot thicker, considerably thicker to than where I had it with the bay leaves. And it looks like the blood is a lot more dispersed. In addition to that, this part is still swollen. But if you look at it, if you notice that this part's more pink than this part's a little bit more like my natural skin color. So I actually see there's actually benefit to actually having the bay leaf on the womb itself. So I actually see that there actually looks like there's been significant changes and improvement to the womb since yesterday, before I actually put in my first application of castor oil and the enhanced bay leaf experiment. I was not able to do this before without being in crazy pain. This doesn't feel like a 10 on the Richter scale. It doesn't feel like my skin's on fire. It doesn't feel like my skin's burning, or it doesn't feel it's irritated, but it doesn't feel as raw as it did yesterday. And in addition to that, which is an extra bonus, is I'm able to actually squeeze the tendon where I couldn't do that before without being in pain. And in addition to that, I can actually feel for where the stitches are on the tendon on the inside, where I couldn't even get that close before. It was too swollen. There was too much inflammation happening there, and it was too painful. And so with the castor oil and the bay leaf, I actually found that there's a lot more, it's taken away a lot of the pain within it. So there's taken away a lot of the pain within it. In addition to that, it's made it a lot more pliable for myself, and it's actually taken away a lot of the bruising. It's actually helped to expedite it. So even though it was really painful last night, just having it on, even for about 4 or 5 hours, even within that 4 or 5 hours, there has been significant improvement. So I'm going to try this again tonight, and actually, but what I'm going to do differently tonight, because I still want to maintain the experiment to see if the Bailey's, how the Bailey's actually does work, if it really, how much it does expedite the healing process, and to kind of give a lateral, castor oil bay leaves, excuse me. And so what I'm going to do differently though this time, opposed to actually putting the full leaf, because it did hurt after a while, I'm actually going to crush the bay leaves and actually mix it with the castor oil and actually put it on like a paste or a poultice along the wound. Oh, also, I also wanted to actually mention that the bay leaves, I actually found it was quite interesting. Within a half an hour of putting the bay leaves on, I actually felt they'd actually heat up on the womb itself, and actually felt like I actually had a ligament on the womb, so which was quite interesting. And I decided to do a little bit of research on bay leaves itself, because you can't just experiment blindly. You have to kind of get some sort of information on why you have an inclination to use bay leaves, something that you would just use, you would just put in your stewing pot, right? And so what I did find, it actually increases circulation, and it actually helps with lymphatic circulation also. So I'm I'm on thinking that at this point that it is the bay leaf is what it's doing. It's actually enhancing or working in conjunction with the castor oil to actually help improve circulation around the womb, which is getting the blood going down more, which is actually, that's why there's more pinkness to the womb opposed to darkness. It's more blood's getting into there, and it's actually helping to release all the dark blood that's in there and helping to actually flush that out of my system. And I'm on thinking that it's actually helping to expedite it. So I'm actually quite excited to see what's going to happen tonight when I try it on again, but I'm not going to try to do it overnight again. I will probably only do it for a few hours and then see what happens in the morning, and then go from there. So thank you for looking and sharing my experiment with me. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will show you again the results tomorrow of day 2 with the castor oil and bay leaf experiment. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you. Bye-bye.